For obvious reasons, I'm not going to repeat the external examiner specification there in the previous video. I have assumed and I would expect that you will see all of them, all three of them in sequence. So let me go straight into paper C, and I'm going to be looking into page C1, which will come up on your screen if you so wish. It starts quite nicely by explaining the type of inquiry, identifying the type of inquiry as surveys. However, it falls behind or it falls short in the middle of the page C1, where it talks about the ACORN system. ACORN is not a system. One word, wrongly used, tells me quite a lot, that it has not a clear understanding of what ACORN is. It is not a system. Then, of course, probably copying from the notes, which will have been available since it is an open book exam, talks about postal geography with demographic and lifestyle information. Yeah, that's quite nice. I think these words appeared in my slides, which the student would have had in front of himself. But the point is, what is the effect of the classification? That has not been explained. So that is a weak point for the paper. Then further down the line, towards the end of page C1, he says, I can use GIS for the traffic. How? If you ask me that question in class, it would take me about 5 to 6 minutes to explain how I would use GIS for traffic. Here is just 3 letters, GIS, inadequate. Then towards the end, correctly, it says future road making, for example, but would I not love to know where and how he or she is going to get that information? Because as you very well know, when a local authority comes along and makes the road, right behind the local authority, the next day comes the water board, which digs up again, they cover the holes, and then follows the, what do you call it, the infrared providers for digging up again. So where exactly would he or she get that information? In page C2, and you will see that there is a big question mark, the location costs. What does this mean? What are the location costs and where will they come from? And concludes in that first question in page C2 by saying distance to my home. Are you going to walk it with a measuring tape in your bag? Are you going to drive it? Are you going to have it on a cycle with a pedometer? Or are you going to use a GIS system with the coordinates and make Cartesian calculations? No answer was given to any of those things, and as a result, I could not award additional marks, as I did in the other papers. I hope that it is quite straightforward and clear. And in page C3, I have noted, I do not know if I have scanned it, I think it is scanned, but in the middle of the page, which says age, sex, situation, what does it mean? In between jobs? I couldn't tell. Family, location, and the financial bracket. What exactly does it mean, the financial bracket? Is it how much money are in the budget in the bank? Is it the earning power of the job? It doesn't mean anything to me. Okay, so that was why it was weak. And it concludes in page C3 again by talking about the traffic without identifying how it is going to be measured. That paper there brings me on to another one, which in these free text questions it did quite well actually, but it fell behind on the multiple choice. I'll give you the marks in a minute. I'm talking now to paper D1 page. On the very top it talks about deep analysis. Now I would very much like to know what is a deep analysis and what is a shallow analysis, because these words don't mean anything and they are new terms in statistics. I looked in every book and I couldn't find them anywhere, so I do not know what it is meant. It continues by saying market analysis, that I understand, and it gives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullet points. I'm talking in page D1, which lists directly from the notes taken during the lecture, but it makes no connection of what actually is customer attraction power, quantitative and qualitative nature of competitive stores. I have no idea. I know what the author is trying to say, but I would bet my bottom dollar, well, pounds, I have no dollars, or euros, but I don't travel to the USA, that these quotations have been copied straight out of the slides without any clear understanding of what actually is the methodology behind those. Similar fashion, in page D2, it talks about a traffic survey. What exactly is a traffic survey? And I will also need to do a benchmark of the competition. What actually does it mean by benchmark? How do you benchmark? And how do you decide what is your criteria for benchmarking? And towards the end, the paper actually improves, and that's why it has become close, by identifying, you will see in page D2, primary data which have been explained. And that was a joy to actually see, because it says surveys, experiments, observations, secondary data like published statistics, annual reports, index services, syndicated services, and database services. Now, I don't remember if they appeared in my slides. If they didn't, this student did a very excellent set of notes. And that's why I could not resist by agreeing to the mark of 55 awarded to paper D, while paper C managed to attract 50 marks from the first two questions. And that concludes the second video, which are the B range of papers. Thank you.